Witches have been feared and misunderstood throughout history. Witchcraft was often used to control women who did not conform. For example, the Salem witch trials. Bewitched. Hysteria created panics that killed a lot of innocent people. And they were probably all innocent. But maybe, just maybe, a few of them weren't. Are you a Wiccan or a Wiccant? That was stupid. This is the VVitch. What? Those are V's. They didn't have W's back then. Well, okay. Let's hear it for historical accuracy. Yay! The Witch opens with William and Catherine getting kicked out of their Puritan settlement over religious reasons. It's never really made clear exactly what happened, but you know Puritans. Come, children, let's leave our comfortable settlement and find our own new world with blackjack and hookers. It's so sad to be leaving all that behind. I heard next year they're getting a cesspool. Don't let the door hit ye where thy lord split thee. Are they looking?
No.
How about now?
No.
Any minute they'll change their minds and be begging us to return. It's worth noting in this movie, it was shot with only natural ambient light. Sunlight, candlelight, and I think even moonlight. That leaves some shots a little too dark, but it also kind of draws you in with them. The cinematography in this movie is next level gorgeous. Every frame is like an effed up Bob Ross painting. And since they're homeless for now, they have to rough it. This beats a roof, eh kids? It's like, shit, maybe I was a bit hasty. They find a good spot to settle, right on the edge of the forest. If you're looking for something more metaphorical, right between the edge of civilization and the unknown. Father, how fast can ye build an outhouse? Some time has passed. Catherine had another baby, so it's been at least 9 months. They built half a barn, half a house, and they even have crops, which look just awful. The eldest daughter, Thomason, played by Anna Taylor-Joy, is put in charge of babysitting her new baby brother, Sam, who's easy to entertain.
Boo! Boo!
Mama! What? Something on my face? Take a picture, it'll last longer.
Sam vanishes right in front of her. Any parent will tell you, with little kids, don't blink. A little while later, we can see that the baby is being taken care of by somebody. Some lady's gently patting him. But then you see a knife. That ain't good. And then she's smearing blood and stuff all over herself. One guess where that came from. And then she lays out in the woods and she starts floating. So if you want to fly, the 5-minute craft's answer is to take a baby and... Mom is, of course, devastated. You can hear her wailing, but you also don't see anyone forming any search parties. It's actually been a few days. William called off the search because he figured whoever took Sam, possession is 9/10 of the law and probably wanted it more. Samuel wasn't baptized, so there's concern about where he wound up if he died. Since the crop is so bad, that leaves hunting in the forbidden woods. The parents always told the kids to stay out of the woods, but Daddy wants a steak, damn it, so he drags Caleb out with him. William reveals that he secretly sold his wife Catherine's silver cup to buy hunting supplies. That's some sitcom shit right there. When William and Caleb are hunting, they find a rabbit, and the rabbit's like,
Come on, kill me. Do it now.
I think Will got screwed on the rifle.
Oh my god, I shot my eye out!
They have a goat named Black Phillip, kind of a formal name, that the twins just love. But taunting a goat with horns like that is just kind of dumb.
I'll not be left here alone. Just there?
They were hunting with equipment they shouldn't have, with a child who shouldn't have been out in the woods. So Caleb lies and tells the mom they were out looking for apples.
We went to find apples.
Will the lies never end? William tries to make extra money doing wood chopping on TikTok. Thank ye for the rose, kind stranger. Brother Caleb is having unclean thoughts regarding, oh, dude, she's not even your stepsister. Ow! Oh, this will help with the unclean thoughts. One of the twins pops up pretending to be a witch. You know, playing a game. Because Black Phillip told her she can do that. Yes, the goat is giving advice now. She says a real witch took Sam away and not a wolf. So that cover story is bullshit. To screw with the kid, Thomason says that she's the witch, and she gave the unbaptized baby to the devil. Not smart, given how superstitious and paranoid these folks can get. This will bite her in the ass later, which is probably also a sin. But also, this kind of feels in very bad taste, given their real baby brother is missing and presumed dead. Kids can be dicks. Remember that silver cup Daddy sold for magic beans? Thomason is blamed for its disappearance. And Dad's not talking. The mother is blaming Thomason the same way she blames her for the loss of the baby. Parents can be dicks too. At bedtime, the parents argue pretty loudly, and this house doesn't exactly have the best soundproofing. You got half a wall between them. and they're not exactly whispering. The kids are awake, hearing all kinds of stuff kids shouldn't hear, and not even the fun stuff. Mom wants to send Thomason away to another family since she's becoming a woman, and Mom doesn't need that kind of competition. I really didn't understand her reasoning here. Thomason and Caleb go out the next morning to check traps in search of food, because Daddy still wants a steak, damn it. Caleb and the dog go after a rabbit, leaving Thomason with the horse. Don't worry, she's an excellent rider. Caleb finds the dog mangled because witches are, of course, cat people, and he gets lost in the woods. Thomason wakes up and heads home. Caleb finds a little house out in the middle of the woods. Hey, is that gingerbread I smell? The occupant seems to be a young woman who's eager to usher young men into manhood. Caleb thinks he's found ye old bang carriage and puts unclean thoughts to good use. He just goes for it, man. This is not the matriarch of the Stifler clan. Lost ye another sibling? Thompson is getting blamed over and over, and Daddy finally owns up to selling the stupid silver cup and for taking Caleb into the woods. She's mad about being lied to. I don't see how she's so even-tempered.
Let go of it!
One domestic violence later, Mom calms down. Don't get used to it. It's raining, so Thomason volunteers to put the goats up, meaning she'd rather be in the rain with wet goats than stay in the room with her mother. Tells you something. Caleb comes home, naked and babbling, so either he's bewitched or he's on whatever Martin Lawrence was on. So was the Poo-Tang worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. The twins are just insufferable. They believe anything the goat tells them. Yeah, the goat. Black Phillip apparently says Thomason is a witch and she's wicked and she made Caleb sick. Believe a strange goat.
But you are a witch.
See, you can't joke about shit like that back then. It's like joking about having a bomb on an airplane. You will get tackled. And these people are so superstitious, they'll believe a talking goat more than their own daughter. She's milking the critter and then there's blood in the bucket. Are you sure that's not just the male goat? William decides to pack up the fam and go back to the plantation where there's a doctor, food, and maybe they can salvage the situation. They plan to leave at dawn. Caleb wakes up screaming because there's always someone screaming in this movie, and coughs up a rotten cherry. I can't tell if it's a cherry or an apple. The scale looks weird between shots. The fucking twins throw Thomason under the bus, trying like hell to convince Mom and Dad she's a witch.
You get to the devil in the woods.
Billy.
William has a foolproof way to prove Thomason isn't a witch. Basically, he's like, "Are you a witch? No? Are you sure? Uh-huh. There you go." Praying over Caleb can't hurt at this point.
I cannot remember my prayer.
The twins can't remember their own prayers, and Thomason is the witch? I ask again, she's the witch?
Wash me in the ever-flowing fountains of thy blood. My soul's salvation!
Dial it back, Jared Leto. Caleb dies. This movie is hardcore. That's whacking kids left and right. Of course, somehow this is also Thomason's fault. William tries to comfort Thomason, but really trying to get her to admit to being a witch. He can't help her if she doesn't admit to the problem. Maybe she just needs an intervention.
I am no witch.
When she denies, he won't listen. When she lets loose on the truth bombs, how he's a shitty farmer and hunter, how he took Caleb into the woods, and how he's a hand-pecked cuckold, now she's being the bitch. She even points out how the devil often takes the form of a goat, and how the twins are so enamored with Black Phillip, talking to him, real sus behavior, and he won't even hear it.
I am no witch.
He does try to confirm with the twins, but I guess waking them up is just too much trouble.
Like!
Perfectly reasonable, William locks the children in the barn with the goats.
Are you witches?
Yes!
Planting yet one more thing that won't grow, William buries his son. That was dark even for me. That night, William prays out loud, and you really feel for the guy. He knows he's been screwing up and is willing to take the punishment if the kids are spared. The living ones, anyway. Catherine has a dream, or vision, that Caleb and Sam are back, and of course she's overjoyed. She starts breastfeeding the baby, when in reality she's being pecked at by a crow. I guess it just tickles. The kids in the barn catch a witch using a goat like a Capri Sun.
God, blood.
The next morning, Catherine doesn't want to discuss the crow incident. Mama, shut up! He finds the barn wrecked and the twins missing, the goats are dead, and Thomason has some more explaining yet to do. You can see him, he's like, oh, these fucking kids. But Black Phillip to the rescue.
Your little low-budget supermarket sneakers on. I got something for you right here. Huh? Is that what you wanted, huh?
Mother sees this, oh boy, comedy of errors, and blames Thomason yet again. She tries to kill Thomason, who defends herself with a big knife. Matricide is tiring, so she takes a nap. That night, she follows Black Phillip into the barn, hoping to get some answers. When she tries to get BP to talk, and he's like just staring at her, she's like, oh god, I'm talking to a goat. And she's about to give up, and he speaks up. What do you want? What do you got? Do you like butter? Mm-hmm. Do you like dresses? Yeah. Do you want to live deliciously? And she's like, yes! All she's got to do is get naked and sign a book. BP is in human form now. I want to know, does he still have the horns? Illiterate? No problem. He'll guide her hand. Is that still legally binding? Thomason goes off into the woods, where a bunch of witches be trippin'. This must be what living deliciously looks like. They all start floating, including Thomason, and she laughs more than we've seen all movie. Thomason is the titular witch after all. Crucifix pose at the end is a little on the nose if you ask me, but at least she's happy and living deliciously. That was the Witch. The Witch explores religious extremism, paranoia, and the harsh realities of life in colonial America. The Witch is praised for its great attention to historical detail and its use of authentic Old English dialogue. That said, I kinda had to turn on captions. Between the accents and the Old English, I really had trouble understanding some of the dialogue. And the father, his voice is so deep and so booming, it's like, and with the accent and the language, I couldn't understand half the words out of his mouth. These old ears. The Witch was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $40 million on a budget of just $3.5. The natural lighting, the sets, and the costumes makes this movie look and feel very authentic. The sound design is crisp and atmospheric. The acting is solid, the performances are intense, the period is well represented. Even the kids, as insufferable as they were believable. Even Black Phillip, he wasn't bad. Just putting this out there, this movie is slow. It takes its time. It's definitely a slow burn. You're not watching a typical horror roller coaster. You're watching a deteriorating family breaking down from loss, death, paranoia, and suspicion. Even with all these supernatural elements, the movie is grounded, and if shit like this probably happened all the time. The Witch is 4Bs. It's a masterfully crafted film that explores complex themes and compelling characters. The fact that they weren't afraid, they weren't shying away from killing kids. It's not like I want to see kids murdered, but the fact that they do, and you feel like no one is safe. And in the end, no one really was. Except the one who became a witch, so what does that say? I'm trying to do this one in a slightly different form so I won't get hit with as many copyright tags. So let me know what you think. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, comment, the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.